This is Red, White, and Bluegrass.
A Republican lawmaker is pushing a new gun safety bill for next year. The focus is on auto sears, small attachments that turn a handgun into a machine gun with one pull of the trigger. The devices are already illegal under federal law, but without a state ban, local police say they can't enforce it. Representative Jason Nemus, alongside the Louisville police chief, says these devices are showing up more often at crime scenes. His bill would make possession a Class C felony in Kentucky.
It does not make anything unlawful that is currently lawful. I cannot possess an auto sear today. It violates federal law. That does not change. It will violate state law as well, but it's already unlawful. It does not take away anybody's right that they currently have.
Nemus says he's open to limiting the language so it only applies to intentional possession. Representative Burke, odds on a bill like this getting some traction next year? I know Democrats have tried to put forward different, gun-relevant legislation before. What do you think about a bill like this?
Well, I was really excited to see it on the agenda for the interim committee, and honestly, I was taken aback by the amount of debate that was all between Republicans. I don't think a single Democrat spoke on this bill, and there was such a big debate that I don't honestly expect that we'll see it. What questions
do you have, Representative Lockett?
Well, I want to first say I think you're currently seeing probably the Second Amendment friendly General Assembly and legislature ever in Kentucky history. We are always going to continue passing bills that enable someone to carry and have a gun, and we'll continue to do so. With these, I know there's a lot of debate, and in fact, for myself, I had to look up and even see what they were. As you said before, currently illegal on a federal level, and I think there's a reason for that. This particular bill, I think Glock supports it. I think the NRA is neutral on it. And I think it's worth looking into. I know there's a lot of debate even in our caucus on whether or not this is a good idea. I'm looking forward to more information on it.
There was some concern from Representative Maddox on that committee that federal law could change and then the state would be stuck with this. What do you think is likely to happen, at least on the federal level, when it comes to these machine guns and regulations around them?
Well, I think we'll just have to see what the Supreme Court does. It could be that they walk it back, but I hope, given the recent level of violence that has been pouring through our communities, that we can agree that machine guns, modified, unlicensed, are not what we need in our streets.
Do you think that the recent political violence we've seen, Charlie Kirk's death is certainly the thing that comes to everybody's mind in that, but it's not the only thing that's happened really in the past couple months. Do you think that heightens the conversation around this and we may see more open conversation when it comes to just political violence in general whenever we get to the General Assembly session next year?
I think it's important to point out that whenever something happens, we always want to run to, well, let's ban guns, let's do this. It's not the guns issue, it's the person's issue. And so with an issue like this, is this something that could make it more readily available? Could it be a gun that the average person on the street could get with no accountability? And I don't know the answers to those, but I think in terms of investigation, in terms of debate, it's certainly worth that for sure.
When we're talking about banning possession of not necessarily a firearm, but something that could modify a firearm, does that change how the argument is approached through the lens of the Second Amendment amongst colleagues for either side of the aisle?
I would say for us it probably does. A modification on a gun is not the same as the right to have a gun. And so we're always going to stand up and protect that individual's Second Amendment right. But when it comes to separate modifications on a gun, those are always, I believe, up for debate in terms of what they are. Does it make the gun less safe? Does it get it into the hands of someone nefarious? It just opens up a lot of conversation that I believe is warranted.
Last word on this very quickly.
Yeah, I would like to echo everything you just said. I think it is really appropriate for us to discuss whether or not a modification is protected under the Second Amendment. I don't think it is.